If you're watching this video, you should have chosen and downloaded a live action video sequence that you plan on rotoscoping. Today, we're going to be learning how to add effects to our footage using Premiere Pro, as well as download still frames from our live action video sequence. We are then going to trace over those still frames and we're going to draw and shoot our rotoscoped animation. Because we're working in Premiere, the first thing you should do is download the Premiere Pro folder structure zip file, which is on Canvas. And you can find it again here in the keychain folder and download that. I've downloaded that and I'm going to extract it. Looks like I already have one open. And I'm going to rename this folder. Right now it's called folder structure. I'm going to change it to Rotoscope. And within this folder structure, again, we've got all these folders that help keep us organized. Inside the archive folder, I put the video that I downloaded from YouTube. And there it is. And I mentioned that I wanted to take a sequence of this bicycle kick animation, which happens right about, oh, not there, a little bit later on there. What you're going to do next is create a new Premiere project file. And just like last time, when you create that project file, you're going to put it in the 00 project file folder. And there mine is, it's called rotoscope.proj. And some of you did this last week, but in case you didn't get a chance to do it, you're going to trim your video to be 3 to 5 seconds in length. And here on the timeline, you can see the length of the video. You can also see it spelled out right there. And my clip, which is this slow-mo clip of this person doing this bicycle kick, it's just under 5 seconds. So this works for me. Now what I want to show you how to do is to add an effect onto a video. When we were going over our rotoscope videos last Friday, some of you had videos that were a little bit hard to see the difference between the subject, in this case this person, and the background. Even this one that I'm looking at, it's pretty good actually. We have a nice dark background against this person's paler skin, but I'm still going to show you how to up that contrast to make it easier for you to see when you trace over it. Now again, the default view that we've been using on Premiere is this editing mode. So this should be familiar, where we had our media here, our timeline, and our source and our program. We're actually going to switch now to the effects view. And you should get this tab on the right popping up. And this is how you can add effects to your Premiere Pro videos. Adobe Premiere Pro has a bunch of different effects that you can add and edit to your footage. Probably hundreds, and you can even download more from the internet if you find other people creating effects that you think look nice. Now we're going to look in this video effects folder, and we're going to find the effect that allows us to change the brightness and the contrast of our video to make it easier to see this subject against the background for when we draw and rotoscope them. Within video effects, you can go to this folder called color correction, and here is that effect that we're looking for. All these effects have this little frame icon to the left. So that's the effect, and I'm going to double click that. Just as an FYI, if there's ever an effect that you're looking for and you forget where they are, because sometimes there's a lot of folders and you lose track, you can also type that in, and then that'll bring you to that one. Now when I double clicked it, it didn't appear like anything happened. And that's because now once we've set this effect to this clip, we got to go to this tab to the right. And here in this tab on the right, we've got all of the effects that we've currently enabled for this piece of footage. We've got all the stuff with positioning, which can change the position of your video, the scale, which can change the size of it. But what I'm going to focus on first is this brightness and contrast. So here, right now, my brightness is 0, which means that it's at the default level of brightness, basically what it came to Premiere with. And if I click and scroll that, right now I'm clicking and dragging it, you can change the level of brightness in your video. So I'm going to try to make this a little bit lighter, but then I'm also going to boost the contrast. So now this character, this person, looks really, really stark against this dark background. So play around with that with your video. Again, each video is different. You're going to have to kind of make these decisions for yourself. And you'll understand why we're doing this a little later on. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now, there's other tweaks that you can do to your video. For example, some of you might want to make your video bigger so you can more easily see your person. And some of you might want to recenter your video, which is what I'm going to do actually. Because right now, if you see, as I scrobble through it, it's on the right side of the video, but I really want this person to be front and center. So I'm going to just drag this position a little bit over to the left. I think I did a little bit too far. And that's pretty good. All right, cool. I'm actually just gonna trim this first part of the sequence because I don't think I can really use that. Click that. Some of you, I know a couple of you had issues with having this little part in the beginning. You can just click that and delete it so that way your clip snaps to the very beginning. One more time, if you have a gap in the beginning, you click it, delete it, and then you're good. And once you have your clip and it looks good to you, again, high contrast, easy to see the body parts, this person, the clothing, and in this case this ball. You can save your Premiere project, then go to File, Export Media. Same setting as last time, the H.264. This preset is fine. And then click on this blue text. I'm going to put it in the folder that I was looking at, which is here, the rotoscope. And within that rotoscope folder, I'm going to put it in the exports folder. And I'm just going to name this bicycle kick. Oh, it looks like I already have one there, but that's okay. I'm just going to save over it. And one thing to keep in mind, just take a look at this estimated file size. This is a 3 to 5 second clip, so it shouldn't really be very big. This is 5 megs, so yours should be somewhere around 5 to 15 megs. If it's way over that, if it's like 50 or more, then make sure your settings kind of match this here. I'm going to export it. And it should be quick because it's just a 3 to 5 second clip. Now that's good to go. What we need to do next is extract the stills from this video. So we've been learning in animation that anything that we see in motion is really just a collection of often hundreds of individual frames of footage that when played back to back to back to back to back, tricks your eye into thinking that you're seeing something in motion. Now this clip right here, it was filmed at about 30 frames per second, and it's about 4 seconds in length, which means that this clip right here has about 120 frames, more than that actually, within this 4 second clip. Now we're not going to draw over all of them because as we've noticed in animation, it doesn't take a whole lot to show something in motion. But we are going to get about 10 frames per second. And we're going to use this website. In order to get our still frames from our live action video, we're going to use this website called easygif.com. I think this is the easiest way to extract still frames from a video. We're going to click on this tab here, Video to GIF, and then from there we're going to navigate to this last sub-tab called Video to JPEG. Now a JPEG is a file for images, still images. So what this means is we're going to be uploading our video and it's going to spit out somewhere between 30 to 50 JPEGs for our sequence. So once we're in here, I'm going to click Choose File, and then I'm going to navigate to my bicycle kick video. I know I was just on it, but I'm going to double check it, make sure it's the same one. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to click Upload Video. It should take about a minute for your video to upload to easygif.com, but once you're done, you're going to be greeted with this screen. Now here's our video, this 4-second clip. It gives me the start time and the end time. And then we've got two settings down here which we're going to want to play with. So the first setting is the size. I'm just going to keep it at original. But the second setting, we're going to click on that, and it gives us a few different options of how many frames or still images we want to collect from this video. It's a 4.6 second video. I'm going to select 10 frames per second, which means it's going to give us 46 still frames, about that number. And once you do that, I'm going to click Convert to JPEG, and then you'll see all of these frames loading, and as you scroll down, again it's doing 10 frames per second, and I'm going to keep scrolling until it's finished. It seems like this is it. I'm just going to scroll back up. Yeah, that seems like it is it. As long as you don't notice any new images being loaded, you're good to go. And the next thing you can do is go to this red button that says Download Frames as Zip. And there's my zip file. I'm going to find it over here. I am going to open this zip file. Again, on a Mac it's easy. On a PC you're going to have to do another couple steps. And there it is. I got 47 frames from this video. I'm going to select all of them. And I'm going to copy them and paste them again into this Rotoscope project folder that I've been working on, and I'm going to place it here in Stills and Graphics. There it is. If I click on one and show you, each time I click, we advance one frame. And those are the frames I am now going to start rotoscoping. Now once you've extracted all the frames using EasyGif, the next step is to actually do the rotoscoping. What we're going to need for this step of rotoscoping is your 2B pencil, like here. You're going to need some of the copy paper that we've given you, and some masking tape, Scotch tape, really anything that's not going to leave too much residue on your computer. So duct tape and packaging tape, probably not the best tapes, but masking or Scotch should be fine. And of course, you're also going to need your computer. Now, when we saw that original rotoscope video, the original rotoscopes were machines that would display actual photographs and the film it would project. We don't need to do all that complicated stuff because now we have computers that can do that for us. So here I am. This is my folder of all of my stills, my 47 stills. Now if you're on a Mac, what I would do is highlight all of these photos and then open them up with preview. And then it's gonna give you this. It's almost set up like a PDF, but then from here, you can go to view, and then let's say enter full screen. And then just like on Photoshop, you can use Command, plus, and minus to change the dimensions of your photo. What you need to do is make it so that your photos, your stills, are the size or smaller than your 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I'm gonna hold up my paper like so, and make sure that it's centered within my frame. I think that's pretty good. So you can kind of see my paper over it. You're definitely gonna wanna turn your computer brightness all the way up. So there's mine. Okay, and I think that's my position I wanna do. And I'm first gonna start, actually I gotta take this down because I don't have enough hands for this. Take it down. I'm gonna hold it up like so. I'm gonna make sure that it's, again, the right size. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then I'm gonna tape it up at the top. Now I'm taping right on the screen, so again, that's why we don't want any tape that's super strong or harsh that's gonna leave a mark on your screen. And I'm also gonna tape the top left corner and then the bottom right corner. So this is almost the same as our lightbox setup, except each time I have to tape that up like so. All right, and so once you have this first frame taped and set up, this is my setup. So every other frame that I place on it is gonna go within that top left and bottom right corner, and I'm gonna have to tape it down. I'm gonna grab my pencil, and here's the reason why we had to adjust the contrast on our video. Depending on your computer, you know, I have a pretty powerful desktop that can, and so here's the reason why we needed to change the contrast on the video. Depending on your screen and the brightness, however many nits your screen can get up to, you might not be able to see through your paper super well. But if you change the contrast, it'll give you a better chance at seeing the lines and the shape of the body beneath it. So you're just gonna take your pencil and you're gonna trace over all of the lines that you see in your video. And I also like to do the shading as well. Some parts get a little tricky, like here, I've got this green shoe against this black background. It's a little hard for me to see, but you can do your best. And do your best to draw a nice strong line. As you might have noticed in that first looping GIF assignment, now that we're using Cam Scanner, you're gonna need an even more dark and strong line for it to show up on Cam Scanner. Okay. Try to get all of the detail in your drawing, not just the outline, but the limbs, where the shirt ends, where your head starts. And I've got this shorts that I'm gonna color in now, but I'm just gonna do this first time. In future rotoscopes, I'm actually just gonna take this off and color it away from the screen, but I'm gonna do it now just to show you. Like so. And then the last thing that we need to do, of course, is to number this one, and this is going to be frame number 1. I'm going to take that off. And so here is that first frame that we've rotoscoped. Pretty nice. So you're going to put that in a safe spot. Keep that piece of masking tape that you use at the top. And you're just going to repeat this process. Now I'm not going to continue going because I'm going to do this on my own time away from the screen. But the one thing I want you to remember is that when we are numbering our frames, again, we skip the even number. So this frame is going to be number 3. And then we continue to rotoscope until you get all your frames rotoscoped. This is going to be a long process, but we're going to take it over 2 days. So put on some good music, get in the rhythm of drawing and taking a look at this body that you have chosen to rotoscope. And make sure you take your time with it. The more detail that you add to it, the closer you look at each frame and all the different parts in motion, the more exciting your rotoscope animation is going to turn out. Once you're done rotoscoping however many frames you have, for some it's 30, for some it might be up to 50, you're going to take your frames, bring them into Stop Motion Studio, shoot, again shooting in 2s, so that's why we odd number them. So that first one, take 2 shots, this one, take another 2. Export the movie, and then you're going to upload that to Vimeo. All those instructions will be on Canvas as well. Have fun out there, and good luck.